I have one job for you.
Charles Manigault.
Please forgive me the sins of my past. Please protect us. Amen.
Not even God will protect you in here.
Turn around.
Don't you ever get tired of this job?
No. All of my marks took something from someone. They deserve to feel the pain that they caused, and I give it to them.
At the church, you let him go.
He's quicker than he looks.
You're getting too cocky.
They're coming for us. Let's go.
What's the rush? Friends of yours?
I don't think so.
Good to see you again, Manigault.
It's Isaac.
He's probably the second best assassin in the world.
Who's the first?
Me.
You saved us back there.
I still haven't decided if I'm gonna kill you or not.
Cheers to that.
You know what happens next.
They're gonna be coming for us.
What do we do?
I always have a plan. That's what makes me the best.
Second best.
Third best.
I'm gonna finish this.
Drowning your sorrows?
You know I don't drink on the job.
By the look of it, you're not even on the job anymore. In fact, you and Manigault look real buddy-buddy. Maybe like you're working together.
I don't do partners. And I'm here to finish what I started. I always do.
You mean always did?
Hey, Annie. About Vegas.
I can't wait to fucking kill you.
I was hoping we could talk this out.
Don't.
That weekend was...
Unless you're gonna apologize, just stop.
I probably could have gone about it differently.
That's not an apology, fuckface.
Hey, as much as I'm enjoying watching you getting your balls handed to you, I prefer this not escalate any further.
Appreciate it. I see you had the same idea I did.
So, they didn't charter the plane in their real names, huh?
Bit too obvious. How'd you know I'd be here?
Well, this airport is just far enough away for a small plane to make it to Mexico on one tank. Then go anywhere else from there. It's the way I'd get out.
Of course you would. So is this part where you say, good to see you here, Hayden. Think we'll step aside and let you finish it.
You mean like you did at the church?
Yes, I had a delightful conversation with your husband yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, delightful
Like
conversation.
you said, he had a great time yesterday.
I'm so glad. Okay, listen, I'm sincere. Like I said, if I hated the movie, I like people say, "Oh, you just say that because you talk to people." I'm like, no, if I hate the movie, I'll be like, listen, it's not that good of a movie. But I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed you. But I have a very important first question for you. Okay, are you ready?
Ooh, I'm nervous.
No. Okay, how much did you enjoy yelling and swearing at your husband and getting paid for it? How much?
Forgot about the getting paid for it part.
Did you? Like he had to give you something, right? Like, come on, like
Right?
take out the dinner.
You know, it's so funny. Like, and that's what everyone says, like, oh, you got to get out everything that you don't get to get out at home, right? You're not the first person who said that. But like, honestly, we have like the best relationship. He's my best friend. We are so lucky that like, you know, we get to work together and do what we love together. So it wasn't so much like, I get to yell at my husband. It was like, we get to play together and this is fun, you know, like, and he loves that I get to play that role. And so, yeah, it was really just us like getting to have fun together.
Now before I get into Exit Protocol and your role as Wicked, which I love your character, by the way. You're one of the best parts of the movie, and that's no shit. So I wanted to ask you. Listen. I do my research on IMDb, and sometimes sometimes it's true. Most of the times it's true. Sometimes it's not. But you, ma'am, it says are avid practitioner of Muay Thai. Is that true?
I did. I trained with a professional Muay Thai fighter for like 7 years.
Okay.
And so it gave me, I will say though, like I'm not like Michael Jai White, right? Who's a true badass, like on screen and off screen, like true martial artist.
Right.
For me, it was like learning how to really throw a punch, learning how to throw a kick, like be believable in that. And I also just loved the physicality of it. I will say no one was ever throwing a punch at my face. It was always just me hitting mitts or hitting the bag or, kicking a pad or something like that. But it was really nice to be able to train with a professional fighter for so long and get that foundation of what it's like to like really like throw a punch and know what that's like.
Absolutely. Well, I've been doing it since '91. So anytime I see that somebody like is doing martial arts, I actually do Kempo, which I don't know if you're familiar with Jess Speakman from The Perfect Weapon. So I do what he does. So I've been doing that for like about 35 years. So anytime I see everybody's got martial arts, I always like to ask them about it. Right. But it also says that you're a certified scuba diver. That sounds pretty exciting. So how'd that happen? Like, what was it?
Yeah. So Scott was certified. I'm a Pisces. I love the water. We love to go on beach vacations, and so I wanted to get certified. It was something like I always wanted to do. And we got certified out here in Catalina, which was an interesting experience because it's freezing cold. Yeah. You're like in an 8 mil wetsuit with gloves and booties and like a thing. And you're crawling over the kelp forest and like dropping down in the kelp forest. And there's like, huge bass floating by. We were trying to take out your BC and like take off your mask and like put it back on and get the water out and stuff. So once you can do that, you train there, like going to the Caribbean where it's like 80 degrees and you're in a bikini diving. It's like, so it's, it's like a whole nother world. You're like flying through another world with the fish and the colors and the bubbles going by your face. It's like so relaxive and meditative. I will say, this last time that we dove, we were in the Caymans and we did like a wall dive. And I don't know if you would know what that is, but like, you're diving along the coral and then there's a wall and it drops. And I had never done that before. And then it's just pitch black and it just drops and you can't see the bottom at all. So, you swim out over and you're like, and then your mind starts racing, right? I have a very creative mind. I don't watch horror movies because I got enough shit in my head. Like the monsters are coming up from the deep blue sea or the shark. And I'm like, okay, this is the first time. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, you were in Planet of the Sharks, though, right? So there was a trade. Actually, that's a funny story. Okay, my daughter, she just turned 18 last year, so we've been watching like our thing is watching shark movies and stuff like that. So I've now put that on the list. I saw that when I was researching it. So yeah, so I'm like, I talked to her. Like, it's always cool. Like, I'll be watching a movie with my daughter. I'll be like, I spoke to him. I talked to her. She's like, shut up. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like, okay, so I will get to Exit Protocol, I promise. But before, I just want to ask you, so again, I ask this every time I talk to somebody for the first time. Love of movies, was that what you got into acting? Was it something you always wanted to do? Or was it just something you're like, okay, this, then, because I saw you're a college, you got what's a...
I have a master's in business.
Yes. Yeah, in entertainment business.
I got 1B in all of grad school. Like, I love college. It's funny. So when I was 9 years old, I was in Las Vegas with my parents and we saw a show, Starlight Express. And it was like a stage show and they were all on roller skates. And like, from that time, like I wanted to be an actress and that's what I wanted to do. And so, I did a lot of community theater and I did a lot of like the school plays and things like that. And I think when I was about 14 or 15, my mom brought me out to LA and I met with some agents and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll rep you if you guys move out. And for whatever reason, I never pushed it. And in hindsight, probably, it would have been better if I would have come out and started early. And it was something I knew I always wanted to do, but I went to college and I did the normal college thing and I got a master's and, then I moved out when I was 25. So it's like, I always knew like it's what I wanted to do, but I also just loved that I had like a kind of normal, I hate to say that, it's not normal. Like everyone's story is different, but like I got to grow up while with other people who are also like learning to grow up. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So now, okay, now let's talk about Exit Protocol. I saw it a couple days ago. I loved it. Listen, again, and I was talking to Shane, the director, yesterday, and of course your husband, and I said, okay, now, I was blunt. I was like, there's 8,000 assassin movies that it comes out. Like every time you turn around, I'm like, whether it's from Asia or from over here, it's like, okay, but I'll take it. I'll take as many as that. I love action movies, so I don't care what.
Yes,
but
I see all
love
these posters
Exit
behind
Protocol.
you that are amazing.
Yes.
Look at that.
But
That's awesome.
yes. Oh, I know that's why everybody loves my Commando poster. By the way, they always mention.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, okay. So what I love about this one, because it's not like what you think. It doesn't flow like you think it's going to go. Like you see the trailer, you know the synopsis. Then it goes back to Chad Law, who wrote it. I'm a big fan of his. He's a big supporter of mine. So I love the script that he wrote. He wrote a great part for you. Wicked. She's an assassin. She's pissed off. Like I don't know. Like you're the kind of person I think wakes up and gets out of bed just pissed off at something or something or another. So talk about getting talk about getting involved in her character, because you're like I said, and your repertoire with Michael Jai White, of course, your husband. I think it's the best part of the movie. So talk about your character.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really interesting, like talking about college, right? In the car, she says, like, I was magna cum laude.
Yes.
So it's interesting. Okay, so she was in college. She's super smart. Like, how did she end up then killing people for a living, right? And then obviously she was like normal and in love and had this relationship with Hayden. And then he left her at the altar and now she's just pissed. So has she just gotten herself in a place, right, where she's covering up some of her vulnerability, maybe being in this kind of industry that's like male dominated. And she's just like this little spitfire, this little firecracker, this little woman, right? And so she just covers everything with like her just anger. Or like, is she like, oh, this is the time I finally get to face him. Like, you did this. I'm coming for you. So I think it's really great that, she was written not just surface level, like there's a lot of nuance to her. There's a lot of layers to her. There's a lot of levels to her. It's not just like a stock character.
Now cause I've only seen the movie once so far because of course I watched it for all the interviews. But like, did she become an assassin because he left her at the altar? Was like, now I'm going to start killing some mofos.
No, I think she was already an assassin.
Oh, she was already an assassin. Okay. Because that would have been funny if that's like
that
she's like,
been right.
I would feel totally guilty if I was the one that left you at the altar. Now you became an assassin. You're like killing people. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. I was like, here, I'll marry you. No worries. All right. But like I said, great character. And again, doing the action is awesome. You got some scenes in there which John Woo would be proud of because you're blasted off with double guns and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool that they gave me those. Like, I didn't even pick that. They were just like, so this is what we're thinking. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's blast some caps. Now, I mean, because listen, I'm a fan of all action stuff like that. Listen, I'm watching that scene. I'm like, I would love to be standing next to Michael Jai White as he's ratting off with a machine gun, and you're blasting away with guns. I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Right? You're living the dream. Like, I get to go to set, and this is what I get to do today, and I get paid for it. Like, what? Yeah.
So how okay, so now you got Dolph Lundgren, you got Michael, and everything. So how just talk about the vibe and the atmosphere that they brought to the set, because they walk into a room and it's just like, oh,
right, there's gravitas, right?
Yes,
and an
yeah,
energy
absolutely.
And a charisma. And so of course, when you sign on to a project and then you find out who's in it, you're like, especially those two and an action movie, especially Michael Jai White too, because Dolph and me, we have maybe one scene together at the end, but really me and Michael Jai are together the whole time, right?
Yes.
And so it's like, am I going to live up to this? He's a real badass, not just for on screen, but in real life. Really, I just want to live up to this. And you get there and it's so collaborative and there's just both such, Dolph is a brilliant man. He's super, super, super smart. And they're just both, like you said, a gravitas and an energy and a professionalism, but also just super kind and fun and just want to make the best movie that they can. So it was super nice to, have kind of Michael Jai be my mentor and friend in the film. And then also be able to kind of translate that to when we aren't shooting as someone with weapons and martial arts experience and just how calm he is and knows what he does. And it just kind of for me, the way that I work, I really love to take off of the other actors, right? You come to set with an idea of your character, but for me, it's really what am I taking from the environment? What am I taking from the director? What am I taking from everyone else? Right. And going off of that. And so, his stillness and calmness is it like sends a chill up you, and it's like so beautiful, and like it's hard to describe. But I feel blessed to have worked with him. He was really good.
Listen, I spoke to both him and Michael and Dolph, and listen, I'm not even in the same room with them. And as soon as they said my name, I'm like, oh, they know my name. You know, it's
They
like
know my name,
I
right?
get like all stars. I think he said my name. He said we're friends, we're BFFs. Listen, I talked to Scott yesterday, okay, and again, his interview's coming up. I got all these put together, but
Awesome.
I anointed him a future action star. This guy, your husband, like fucking kicks up. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but he kicks some ass in this movie. Listen, yeah, well, you know, I don't get paid anything right now, so it's like I'll say whatever I want. But he has some great scenes, especially him with Dolph, and then at the end, he's got that fight scene. I was talking to him about it. He put the work in, and he's got. Listen, if he wants this, I can see him do.
I can too, and I want to take like a little beat, and I want to give a shout out to our nutritionist, Dr. Philip Golia at PFC Nutrition. No one ever gives him a shout out. I'm giving him a shout out because he is the man behind like his physique, my physique, like getting us ready for these movies. But yes, like Scott looked great. He looked the part, the gravitas. He did such a good job. Like I was really, really proud of him. Like when I watched the when I watched the trailer for the first time, like, you know, because I don't, he's looking at it all the time.
You can say it.
Editing and CC and stuff. Like I kind of stay out of it. And I'm one of those like, no, I don't want to see anything until like it's done. And then I'll see it. And when I saw the trailer from the first time, like I was just so overwhelmed with like pride for him and how like proud I was of him. And like, he really fucking knocked it out of the park. He did a great job. Really,
and it's such a great character. And like, okay, and again, I can't like, I hate when I do these interviews because I can't really spoil anything because it just came out today as we're talking and people are starting to see it. But let me just say it ends in such a way. I won't spoil anything, but I think there could be progression. And if that progression were, I didn't talk to Shane yesterday and he was kind of like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I would totally like to see something happen if you know what I'm talking about.
Right? I know. The end kind of sets it up. You're like, I don't know what's going to happen.
And it was just funny because when he, again, that's what I'm just going to say. He gets in the car and then okay, I'm going to listen. If you haven't seen the movie, turn this part off. He gets in the car and then you're sitting in the seat next to him and you're just like, well, that of course that's what's supposed to happen. Of course she gets back in the car.
Was it? Did you expect it or were you like, oh shit? But
I did not expect it. I was not expecting you to be in that seat next to me. But once I saw you both put the shades on, you drove away. I was like, where's part 2? Because I'm ready to go. Now, with Wicked, did you draw from inspiration from any other like movies or actresses who did that type of role before? Or was it just, you know, you're like, you just did your own thing, you just, you know, went into your own mindset and stuff like that?
No, I kind of just did my own thing, you know, like I kind of just like let the words like inform me, and then again like be in the moment with the other actors. Like I think the whole like that wasn't an apology, fuck face, like that line that was like fuck face. Yeah. That was not written like that. That was just like something that came out of me at the moment, like looking at him, like thinking about like if I was really like in this situation and Scott was apologizing to someone else, but wouldn't say I'm sorry to me, you know? So it was just like in the moment, like, but yeah, I just kind of let the script and the words like inform me. And I'm sure there's always like underneath the surface, every role that you've played is like a part of you and you bring a part of yourself to it. So there's no way to escape that. But like, I just try to approach everything with whatever the page is telling me, whatever the other characters are telling me, whatever the energy is the other actors are bringing, and create something new, like in the moment, hopefully.
Okay, and let me just say the scene again. You kind of set it up like you're in the passenger seat. Michael's in the driver's seat. They pull up, and Scott's over there standing next to his car. It's
and
just
I
funny
can't even really look at him.
What's funny is because Michael sells that scene because you guys are just yelling. Well, Scott's not yelling. He's just kind of like, okay, you're yelling, and Michael's just like, he's like, go for it. You'll go. Yeah, it's just great because he's like moderating a fight between the two, and it's just like, a great scene.
He's like, this is wicked. Like, of course. Like, here we go. Like, I understand, right? I'm going to tell you a little funny behind the scenes.
Please do.
If you want to know. So I call Scott Baby Doll. In real life, I call him Baby Doll.
As well you should.
Or whatever. He's Baby Doll. And, you know, on set, we're very professional and we like, you know, we work together and it's like, he does his thing, I do my thing, but there's like a respect, but it's not weird. It's not like husband and wife on set or anything like that. Right. But I think I called to him like one time and it's like, hey, Baby Doll, whatever. So in one of the takes, they cut it or whatever, we drive up And then instead of saying like, hey, Hayden, or whatever, he's like, hey, baby doll. Michael Jai says, hey, baby doll, just died. It was so funny. It was such a great outtake.
All right, so unfortunately, I gotta let you go because you're a busy lady. Again, all of you guys have been delightful. I've had so much fun.
Lovely. I appreciate your energy and all of your questions and taking the time with me today. Like honestly, this was really cool. Thank you.
And listen, like I would take, and again, this is not no joke. I would take a movie with just you as Wicked, like in a movie, because like your character resonated so like it was just a cool character. And now of course I'd like to see both of you together, which I'm sure, but you know I would just take a movie with just your character in it because you kick ass, ma'am, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future, and hopefully we could talk again and do it all over again. But success with the film, success with all the other interviews you got today, and hopefully we'll talk in the future. Okay,
thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Not even God will protect you in here.
Turn around. Put your weapon down.
I could have killed you outside the church before you came in.
Got a deal for you. You walk away and live.